Hello world. No matter where you are right now, our planet is spinning through another season, and the story of summer and winter is unfolding in two very different ways. While the northern hemisphere is bundling up in scarves and mittens, bracing against chilly winds and snow, the southern hemisphere is just kicking off its summer celebrations. For countries like Australia, Brazil, South Africa, and Argentina, December means something entirely different. Barbecues sizzling in backyards, golden beaches packed with sunbathers, and families gathering outdoors to soak up the warmth of the sun. Normally, summer here is predictable. Long, sun-drenched days and balmy nights, all thanks to the Earth's unique tilt in its journey around the sun. This cosmic dance sets the stage for the rhythms of life below. This seasonal rhythm shapes everything. When farmers plant their crops, when animals embark on epic migrations, and when families plan their much-anticipated vacations. It's a pattern that's been reliable for generations. But what happens when that familiar rhythm is suddenly thrown off balance? What if the expected becomes the unexpected? This year, December 2020, the usual summer sizzle has turned into a relentless, scorching roast. The heat is not just intense, it's unprecedented. Reports are flooding in of record-breaking temperatures across the southern hemisphere. Cities are sweltering, and communities are struggling to keep cool. The comfortable warmth people look forward to has been replaced by a suffocating blanket of heat, making daily life a real challenge for millions. This isn't just about needing more ice cream or cranking up the air conditioning. It's a fundamental shift in the weather pattern, one that's hard to ignore. It's a sign that something much bigger is at play, affecting not just our comfort, but the environment, agriculture, and even our health. So what's really going on? Why is this summer so extreme, and what does it mean for the future? Our planet's weather systems are incredibly complex, and lately, they seem more unpredictable than ever before. Scientists are racing to understand the causes. This isn't the summer anyone planned for. Instead of fun in the sun, many are facing canceled plans and unexpected dangers. It's a stark reminder that climate patterns are changing, and the effects are being felt everywhere, from melting glaciers to forests under threat. Let's put on our detective hats and dig into the mystery together. What clues can we find to explain this sizzling summer? The clues are all around us, hidden in weather anomalies, shifting patterns, and environmental changes that demand our attention. Welcome to the case of the sizzling southern hemisphere, a story that's just beginning to unfold. So, what is a heat wave, really? You've probably heard the term on the news or from friends, but it's more than just a hot spell. It's a weather event that can change the way we live, work, and even survive during the hottest days of the year. It's not just a few hot days, it's a prolonged stretch of extreme heat, often with high humidity. These conditions can last for several days or even weeks, making it hard for people and the environment to recover in between. Your body can usually cool itself, but during a heat wave, there's no break. The heat just keeps building. The relentless sun and stifling air make it difficult to stay comfortable, and even simple activities can feel exhausting. The definition of a heat wave depends on what's normal for a place. What's extreme in New Zealand might be typical in the Australian outback. Every region has its own threshold, so what counts as a heat wave in one country might be an ordinary summer day somewhere else. Meteorologists call it a heat wave when temperatures soar well above the average for several days. It's not just about the number on the thermometer, it's about how unusual and persistent the heat is compared to what people are used to. Imagine your oven suddenly cranking up way past the recipe, your cookies burn. That's what a heat wave does to the planet. The environment gets overcooked, and everything from plants to people can suffer the consequences. This extra heat stresses everything: power grids, water supplies, plants, animals, and people. Air conditioners work overtime, crops dry out, and animals seek shade wherever they can find it. Even our roads and railways can buckle under the pressure. It's not just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. Heat waves can lead to serious health problems like heat stroke, dehydration, and even death, especially for vulnerable groups like the elderly, children, and those with health conditions. Unlike a hurricane, you can't see a heat wave coming, but its effects can be just as devastating. The damage often becomes clear only after it's over, when crops have failed, power has gone out, and people have suffered. Heat waves can impact health, agriculture, and infrastructure. They're silent, invisible threats that creep up and leave lasting scars on communities, economies, and the environment. That's why the current situation in the southern hemisphere is such a big deal. Cities and towns are facing record-breaking temperatures, and people are struggling to adapt to this new normal. This isn't just summer. It's summer on overdrive. The heat is more intense, the risks are higher, and the impacts are felt by everyone, from farmers to festival goers. Understanding heat waves helps us see why this event matters. By learning how and why they happen, we can better prepare for the future and protect ourselves and our communities. We need to pay attention. Staying informed and taking action can make all the difference when the next heat wave strikes. What makes this December 2025 heat wave so unusual? It's all about timing, intensity, and scale. The hottest days usually come later in summer, but this year, record-shattering heat arrived early. Some regions are seeing temperatures 10 to 15 degrees Celsius above normal. Cities like Santiago and parts of Western Australia are experiencing heat that would be extreme even in peak summer. This isn't a gentle warm-up, it's a thermal shock, and it's not just one area. The heat is widespread, hitting multiple continents at once. This points to powerful forces at work in the global climate system. Nights aren't bringing relief either. Temperatures stay dangerously high, offering no break. This relentless heat is what makes heat waves so dangerous. It puts continuous strain on people, especially the vulnerable. It's an endurance test no one signed up for. Something big is driving this. So, why is this happening? Let's look at the main suspects: long-term climate change and a short-term cycle. First, human-caused climate change. Burning fossil fuels has thickened our planet's heat-trapping blanket. This raises the Earth's average temperature, making extreme heat events more likely and intense. Think of it as raising the floor in a basketball game. Now, it's easier to break records. What used to be rare is now common. Every weather event now happens in a warmer world. Scientists can even measure how much climate change amplifies these events. For this December heatwave, the fingerprint of climate change is clear. It's the silent partner, making everything more extreme. So, while natural factors play a role, the baseline has shifted. Our world is fundamentally altered. That's why we're seeing more record-breaking heat. Now, meet our second suspect, El Niño. El Niño is a natural climate pattern in the Pacific Ocean that shakes up weather worldwide. Normally, trade winds push warm water west, but during El Niño, those winds weaken and warm water shifts east. This rearrangement changes global weather, often bringing hotter, drier conditions to the southern hemisphere. El Niño acts like a booster rocket for global temperatures. Combine that with climate change, and you get a recipe for record-breaking heat. This December's heat wave is a classic example of this destructive partnership. The background climate is already warmer than ever. Add a strong El Niño, and temperatures skyrocket. It's a 1-2 punch: natural variability, plus human-caused warming. That's why this heat wave is so intense. It's a perfect storm of heat. Let's see what this looks like on the ground. In Australia, cities like Perth and Adelaide are sweltering above 40 degrees Celsius for days, with fire bans replacing barbecues. In Argentina, crops are withering and farmers fear for their harvests. Santiago, Chile, faces a suffocating urban heat island straining the power grid. In southern Africa, water supplies are evaporating fast, and communities remember past crises. Rural families and city dwellers alike are struggling to cope. These aren't just statistics, they're daily realities for millions. The heat wave is changing lives, work, and the way people think about their environment. We're not the only ones suffering. Wildlife and ecosystems are hit hard too. In Australia, koalas are coming down from trees, desperate for water. Flying foxes, vulnerable to heat, are dying in droves. The oceans aren't spared. Marine heat waves bleach coral reefs, threatening entire underwater ecosystems. On land, shrinking water sources force animals into crowded spaces, spreading disease and increasing competition. Birds and insects struggle to survive as their life cycles are disrupted. The health of our ecosystems reflects the health of our planet. When animals suffer, it's a warning sign for us all. They can't escape the heat, they're exposed. Their struggle is a powerful reminder of the far-reaching impact of a warming world. Our survival is linked to theirs. The stakes are high for every living thing. So, how are people responding? Governments and communities are stepping up. Public warnings urge people to stay hydrated, avoid the heat, and check on the vulnerable. Cities are opening cooling centers and extending pool hours to offer relief. Power companies and water authorities are working overtime to prevent blackouts and conserve supplies. Firefighters are on high alert, ready to battle bushfires. Communities are coming together, neighbors check on each other, volunteers distribute water, and animal rescue groups help wildlife. It's a massive collective effort. The heat wave is testing our systems and our compassion. In crisis, we find strength in each other. This December heat wave is a wake-up call, an unmistakable sign that our climate is shifting faster than many of us ever imagined. The rising temperatures aren't just numbers on a thermometer, they're changing the way we live, work, and even breathe in our cities. Our world is changing, and so must we. The evidence is all around us: unpredictable weather, melting ice, and more frequent extreme events. It's clear that we can't keep doing things the old way. The solution? It's a combination of adaptation and mitigation. Two powerful strategies that can help us face the future with hope. Adaptation means making our communities more resilient, planting trees to cool our neighborhoods, using reflective cool roofs to lower indoor temperatures, upgrading infrastructure to withstand heat waves and storms, and creating more shaded parks for everyone to enjoy. It also means improving public health systems, so we can protect the most vulnerable during extreme heat and keep our cities safe and healthy. But adaptation isn't enough. We must tackle the root cause of climate change. That means going beyond just coping with the symptoms. We need to cut greenhouse gas emissions by shifting to clean, renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and hydropower, making our homes and industries more energy efficient, investing in better insulation, and protecting forests that absorb carbon are all crucial steps. It's a huge challenge, but also a huge opportunity for a cleaner, healthier world. Every action counts, from the choices we make at home, like recycling and biking, to the policies our leaders put in place. We have the science and technology to make a difference. Now, what we need most is the will to act, together and with urgency. This heat wave is a painful lesson, but also a motivator. It reminds us that the stakes are high, but so is our capacity for change. Let's commit to building a cooler, safer future for ourselves, our children, and all living things that share this planet with us. The Earth is our only home, and it's worth every effort to save it for generations to come. The time to act is now. Every moment we wait, the challenge grows, but so does the opportunity to make a real difference. Together we can turn down the heat. Let's get to work. Our future depends on it.